I'm not proud of this, and I've never told anyone. Not my wife, not my parents, not even my therapist. 12 years ago, my younger brother Evan died. At least, that's what everyone believes. Evan was 17. He was reckless, angry, always pushing limits. One night, we got into a fight over something stupid. I don't even remember what it was anymore. I just remember him storming out of the house, yelling that he was done with all of us. 2 hours later, the police called. They found his car wrapped around a tree on a back road. Fire damage. No body recovered. The cops said the fire probably destroyed everything. Closed case. My parents were devastated. I was numb, but also relieved. I hated myself for that feeling. Here's the confession. Evan didn't die in that crash. He came back. 3 nights after the accident, I woke up to knocking on my bedroom window. I lived on the 2nd floor. No ladder, no tree nearby. When I opened the curtain, Evan was standing there. Not burned, not injured, just wet, like he'd been standing in the rain. He smiled and said, "Can I come in? They're looking for me." I slammed the curtain shut. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, muddy footprints were under my window, leading away from the house. After that, things started happening. My phone would ring at 3:17 a.m. every few weeks, no caller ID. When I answered, I'd hear breathing. Then a whisper. "You told them I was dead." I changed numbers, moved cities, got married, tried to forget. But Evan never stopped. Sometimes I'd see him in reflections, store windows, dark TV screens, always behind me, always smiling. I never told my family. They'd already buried an empty coffin. I didn't want to reopen that wound or sound insane. Last week, my mother called me, crying. She said she found old voicemail messages on their landline, messages they never noticed before. All from the same night, 3 days after Evan's death. The voicemail just says one sentence, over and over. "Why won't you let me come home?" My mom asked me if I knew anything about it. I lied, again. But here's the worst part and the real confession. Last night, when the knocking started, I didn't scream. I didn't freeze. I already knew who it was. I walked to the window slowly and pulled the curtain aside. Evan was there, smiling wider than I'd ever seen him smile. His eyes weren't angry anymore. They were calm, patient. Like he'd finally won. He leaned closer to the glass and said softly, "You always forget the most important part." I asked him what he meant. That's when the memories came back. Not the fight, not the crash, but what happened after. Evan didn't run away that night. I followed him. When his car hit the tree, he was still alive, trapped, screaming, begging me to help him out of the wreck. The fire hadn't started yet. I remember standing there, listening, doing nothing, because if he died, everyone would stop blaming me, and if he lived, he'd tell them what kind of brother I really was. The fire came later. I left before it spread. Evan smiled at the window and whispered, "I didn't come back to scare you." Then he tilted his head toward the bedroom door behind me. "I came back because they're ready to know the truth." I heard my parents' voices in the living room, laughing. But my parents died 3 years ago. The knocking stopped. The window was open. And from the hallway, I heard my own voice say, "Mom? Dad? He's here."